Hello, everyone. Nathaniel Gavronsky here, and again, I'm along Battle Road, and this is the exact location that Paul Revere's midnight ride came to an end. See, the story goes that he rode out all the way to Concord. He warned everyone in Lexington and went out to Concord. Well, he was on his way to Concord, but he didn't quite make it. In fact, both of the riders, William Dawes and Paul Revere, who both set out from Boston on orders from Dr. Joseph Warren to warn all of the people on the way to Concord about the approachment of the regulars, neither one of those two men actually completed their journey. It was a Concord resident named Dr. Prescott that they ran into on the way, and they advised him and asked him if he could help, which he did. Now that fate of meeting Dr. Prescott was very, very important because he's the only one who actually makes it all the way. Not too far from here, William Dawes actually gets thrown from his horse and is unable to complete his mission. Along this road right here, this exact spot, Paul Revere is actually stopped by a grouping of British patrolmen who say, "Excuse me, sir, what's your business?" And he doesn't really have a valid story on why he's out this far when he clearly is a silversmith from the north end of Boston. They capture him. They hold him for a couple of hours before they decide, well, we're under fire. We're just going to let him go, but we're going to take your horse from you. So the horse he borrowed was taken, and he had to find his way back to Lexington and then back to Boston. Luckily for the Patriots, Prescott actually lived in Concord. So if he would have been stopped, all he would have to say, hey, I was out on a date, which was legitimate. He was actually out on a date and was returning home to Concord. So even if he would have been stopped, he would have been able to journey home because, well, that's where he was going. That's where he lived. But this spot right along Battle Road here on the early morning hours of April 19th is where Paul Revere's midnight ride came to an end. And so I wanted, at the middle of the night, there was absolutely nothing to see here. Nothing's lit up. So I had to do this one during the day. So I wanted you guys to see this. This is the exact spot. I'm going to bring you up to this plaque, and I'll go ahead and read it to you so you guys can hear what it says because it's kind of hard to read from the camera. Okay, let me get this turned over to you. And it says, at this point on the old Concord Road, as it was then ended the midnight ride of Paul Revere. He had it about 2 o'clock at the morning of April 19, 1775. The night being clear and its moon in its third quarter got thus far on the way from Lexington and Concord, alarming the inhabitants as he went when he had his companions William Dawes of Boston and Dr. Samuel Prescott of Concord were suddenly halted by the British patrol who had stationed themselves at this bend of the road. Dawes turning back, he actually just went to the left. Then, as it goes, that made his escape. Prescott, clearing the stone wall and following the path known to him through the low ground, regained the highway at a point further on and gave the alarm to Concord, because again, he lived in Concord, so he had no reason to not be going home. Revere tried to reach the neighboring wood, but was intercepted by a party of officers accompanying the patrol. He was detained and kept in arrest. Presently, he was carried by the patrol back to Lexington. There, he was released. The morning, John Hancock and Adams, 3 men of Lexington, Sanders, Brown, and Loring, stopped at an earlier hour of the night by the same patrol, were also taken back with Revere. So Revere had some company. So, truthfully, Dawes actually got kicked off of his horse. That's the reason why he never made it, because, well, you're not going to go on foot, at least unless you're a soldier being ordered to. But that's basically the story of where Paul Revere's midnight ride came to an end right here, this exact location. So Prescott was just going home. He had no reason to be detained because he had a legitimate reason of being out. He's out with the girl. So, guys, you ever stopped by the cops? Where are you, and why are you out here? As to say you're on a date. I'm on a date, I'm going home. I struck out, going home. Maybe the cops will have some pity on you and let you go along your way. So But here is the location where the midnight ride of Paul Revere came to an end. And but he was able to alarm and inform Samuel Adams, and John Hancock of the approaching British regulars, and that itself was enough to set things in motion. It's what actually allowed Parker to gather his men, being warned at Lexington that the regulars were coming, and it's that little spot right there because because Revere was able to get to Lexington in time. The almost 80 men that gathered on the green, I guess that's gives away to everything else. So Paul Revere's Midnight Ride was a success, even though it was never completed. So I hope you guys are enjoying all these videos. This is Nathaniel Gavronsky along Battle Road in Massachusetts, stopping on all the 250th anniversary stops for the anniversary of the American Revolution. I hope you guys are enjoying these. I hope to see you all at the next one. Stay tuned and subscribe, like these videos, because that's what's going to help me keep going. If you have any suggestions of places I need to see, please let me know, because that's how I decide which ones the ones are worth stopping by, because there's thousands of locations. So knowing which ones you want me to talk about and go to and visit and see, so you guys make your determination if you want to come out and see it, and that's how I'm going to be able to determine which ones I go to. So thank you everyone for keeping up with these, and I hope to see you all real soon.